Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we are here, and boy, is it a special one. This is it. This is the 10-year special video, and am I ever excited? Where do we even begin? 10 years of making YouTube videos. This is the 10-year story. This is the video that we've really done every single year. And we've done a lot going into 10 years. Every other year has been, one or two videos on March 28th. Maybe we did 4 or 5 one year when I was doing crazy amount of videos. But this year, we really went hard. We went in on just making a bunch of content. And we got 2 more videos coming up today. We got what 10 years of YouTube means to me, and a really, really cool gaming compilation featuring 16 video games. But the 10-year story we break down every single year, and kind of, what that year meant to the channel. So, let's jump into it. Of course, we've went through each year, 2012 to 2022, taking a look back at a video from every single one of those years, but now we're going to jump in here and really dive into each one of those years. So let's start with 2012. 2012, I was 13. And I had really never watched YouTube. I really genuinely hadn't. It was something that maybe I watched a little bit in school for some projects or something potentially, but I never really was into watching YouTube. And I mean, let's also think about this. YouTube had only started in 2006, so it really hadn't been that long. It had been about 6-7 years. Not even. What is it? 6? Yeah, 6 years YouTube had been a thing. Monetization of videos really only started a few months before. It was sometime in 2011. So YouTube is something that hadn't, popped. And, I mean, it had popped, but it hadn't got to the point where it's insane. Like, the most viewed video was not nearly what it is now. Like, YouTube was still early. YouTube had, now it's just insane. Everybody wants to do YouTube. But 2012 saying you wanted to make YouTube videos as a job was weird. I remember in school it was like, it's not a thing. So 2012 I found a website, just a Wikipedia type page, but the ones for specific subjects, like maybe a Beyblade one, for example. And I found one for Big Bang Pegasus. Now this dude's Dusty boy. But there was a video at the bottom that explained how this little piece here could be taken off. And it was, I believe, what was the guy's name? Akira's daddy? Was that his name? Yeah. That guy, he was like from Japan. So he didn't actually talk in his videos. I think he just had subtitles on. Or maybe he did maybe he talked in Japanese and did subtitles. I don't remember. But either way, I didn't know what he was saying. Or he didn't say something. Either way, it explained how you could take this piece apart. He went into that because there's 2 little screws down there. And there's 2 videos explaining how it worked. And that was it. I dived into YouTube. And then I watched some other videos. We had Beyblade Geeks. They were wild. I loved their content. And I got into it. And after I watched a month of YouTube videos, I remember watching it on my DS and my computer and whatever phone I had at the time. I had 2 phones. I had one that was an actual phone that I used, which maybe it's in this drawer. Ooh, that'd be fun. All my props that I need are like right here. Where are you at? Come on. Yeah, come to me. Come to me. Okay. So this was my actual cell phone. This had my phone number on it. I could call, text, listen to music on this little phone. Okay. But my dad at his work at the time got phones. And whenever he got a new phone, he got to keep the old one. So I ended up having this smartphone, which I could use, that I had to use on Wi-Fi because it didn't work, because it wasn't actually connected into a network. So I did a lot of videos and watching videos and stuff on this phone. I really wonder if I can get it to work. I doubt it. It hasn't been on so long. But this is like where a lot of it started, was on this very phone. And of course I had a little recording camera, and I have my 3DS, which is... Where are you at? I feel like it's down here. Yeah. No, wait, that's a book. Damn. I don't know where my 3DS is. But either way, my 3DS, that was my main recording device. So I set it up on my little shelf, pointed it out my bed, and we went in. I talked about Beyblades, Beyblade Happiness Part 1, and that was it. That was how it started. Damn. Just me chilling, recording on my DS. And was it in this drawer? No, damn. I really want to find it, like... I really do. But it's gone. It's gone. It's somewhere gone. Oh, man. I think this just shows the chaos on my channel. That I don't plan shit out. I just start going and talking and hoping that it works out. So that was it. That was the thing. We popped off with Beyblades. We did so many videos in such a short period of time. I mean, it had to be hundreds of videos. I know I did 100 videos in 1 week, which now just sounds absolutely chaotic. I get out like... I can probably record, if I had to, 15 in a week. But back then, summer 2012, my dad had his knee replaced. So I spent like 2 weeks just sort of helping him with doing things. Obviously, he couldn't go upstairs. He couldn't really even walk that far in the house because he couldn't really bend it. It was one of those things that, like, you have something like that. It's a process, obviously, to get that joint working, get your whole body to be like, okay, this is me now. This is my knee. So getting to help with sun's going down in GTA. Somehow GTA has been on for like an hour and I haven't kicked it out of the online session. No idea how that happened. But yeah, it's one of those things that I had to spend so much time helping him that I had just so much time of doing not really much because I had to be near where he was. So I just went outside and recorded videos on my front porch. And it was absolutely wild, just the amount of videos I put out. So we jump ahead to 2013, and it's kind of more the same. I ended up getting a room in the house. I kind of just slowly take it over. Um, and I, started doing videos in there, get some things set up, and that gets the inspiration for when we bought this house for me to have a location to make videos. So when we did that, because again, 2013 was pretty much just more of Beyblades. So we did that. My parents ended up finding this house, buying it. And they had a dedicated room that I could use for video making. And that was honestly quite amazing. And I don't even know how to put that in words, how fortunate that is. That I had that room for a while. It was until 2018 when I was kind of not feeling video making as much, which worked out because now my brother used that as a bedroom when he moved in. So it works out. But it's one of those things that I used for quite a while. And getting a studio, getting a location in the house, I had 2 rooms. It was great because I could have all the video stuff set up. Because now it's a bit of a hassle. Oh, I want to, record a video. Move my computer, move all my wires. So it's like when you're done, you just want to be done, shut it off. You have to put it all away. It's kind of a bit annoying, but make it work. So it's one of those things that I just loved having a location. So we moved here in the end of 2013. And that's when I got that room, like I said. And I also made the decision, I don't know why, but I was like, okay, we're moving. I'm not doing Beyblades anymore. And I've not done a single Beyblade battle since then. And I was like, okay, it's a reset. We have new house. We're going to do new content. So going into 2014, it became very much based on talking about cars, which is something we still do. I mean, I don't sit down and just talk about a car, but 2014, we did a lot of remote control cars, discussing new cars that were coming out, that kind of thing. And I was just very interested in just sort of talking about it. Of course, love watching Top Gear, now the Gran Tour. I love watching. It's my favorite show. I'll watch those episodes through time and time again. That's my show. Everybody has a show they talk about. Oh, I love watching this show, and I'll watch every episode 50 million times. Top Gear, up until season 22, and now the Grand Tour. That's something I just watch all the time. And it's just it's a fun show for me to watch, and something that I'm very interested in is cars. So I wanted to kind of do something like that, talk about cars. And we had remote control cars, drove it around, and it was fun, but it's an interesting era that I kind of forget about when it comes to the channel, if I'm honest. So we jumped to 2015. Now 2015, and of course along the way, I'm doing a bunch of videos with friends. We had Wanyá, who at the time was Casey, if you see his name in all the videos. Or it's changed throughout the videos, but yeah, a lot of the videos said Casey in the title for a long time. Then we sort of went to Wanyá, that was there for a while. We had, I don't even know what else we had. I know we had those 2. Those were the main 2 I put in the titles. Maybe what else did he have? Lenore Andre, that was in there for a while. Those are the 3. So if you see those in the title, that's all him. And then we had Trayvon for up until the end of 2017. So they've been featured in videos. 1A was in videos pretty much until 2020. Some things happened. We started doing videos and talking again. We started talking again in summer or early 2021. We really started talking and doing stuff together sort of late 2021, maybe September, October. But either way, before we get into those times, they were both featured in many videos, and they'd come over and we'd record just random stuff, making jokes, trying to make a little movie production thing, that type of stuff. So those were also very, very fun videos, but they're not really the main focus of the channel. So we skip to 2015. I get a PlayStation 4. Now this PlayStation 4 This dude right here. Super, super important to the channel. This is one of the most important items to the entire channel. So when I got this system back in February of 2015, it opened up possibilities that were not there before. Because in 2014 and even 2013, I was experimenting with doing gaming videos. It was something that I thought was cool. But I would pull my camera at the TV, try to get to line up, and recording a TV screen looks kind of trash. So that's all I could do, though. 2015, I get a PlayStation 4. That gives me the ability to then start, streaming stuff to Twitch and YouTube. And that's how I made videos until 2020. Streaming videos on a side Twitch, which is just EpiccW47, but I never promoted it, never talked about it. Streamed on that, so that way I could then download it, upload it to YouTube. Kind of a shit system, but it worked. So that opened the possibilities for GTA. It opened up possibilities for, whatever else came down the line, NASCAR games, and then we jumped into Overwatch later on, Fallout, Just Cause 3, then even more recently, F1, and also we had Gran Turismo in there. So all these games, and again, they're going to be featured in a game compilation later in the day, which we'll go through and discuss those 15 games or 16 games why I picked them. So it opened the possibility for so many games. That was really big in 2015, again, getting into doing gaming content. 2016, we really shift purely towards gaming. That is when the longest running series on the channel, the Race Playlist, which is still going to this day. Just a few days ago, we had an episode where we, sort of celebrated this 10 years, and that's been a key part since 2016, which is more than half the existence of this channel. So that's when Race Playlist started. That's 2016 is when Just Cause 3 and the most watched video went out. And 2016 is when, things really took off. And leading into 2017, where we really got rolling with content. We were doing so many videos daily of gaming content every single day and making it work, grinding it out. And it was so fun to have so much variety. We did NASCAR Heat 2 at the time, more Just Cause 3, Gran Turismo Sport came out in 2017. And for me, 2017 is like the best year ever. There's so many good things about 2017. Hitting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, graduating high school, getting Fiesta, watching the Warriors win. That was cool watching them win in the basketball, because that was the first time that I really picked a sports team to like kind of myself. Baseball, I've seen the Red Sox win, but I kind of grew up watching the Red Sox. And, NASCAR, I'd seen drivers, my favorite drivers win, but it's something that I liked them for when I was so little that it was like, okay, you kind of just had these picks and you made them, and obviously, Kevin Harvick and Tony Stewart are my favorites, and they're going to be forever. But I picked them based on, random things when I was little. So to say, in 2017, I'm going to like a sports team, be into them, and then see them win championship was super, super cool. Because, again, every sports thing I either picked when I was really little, or kind of just grew up, rooting for that team. So it'll be one of those things that, watching football, if the Bills win, that'll be awesome, because I always, I grew up it was kind of like rooting for the Jets. That was the thing. And, being a Jets fan because of my dad, I didn't really have my own choice on that. So when I made that decision towards the end of last year to say, okay, I'm going to switch teams, it was an interesting decision, for sure. But, it's one of those things back, in 2017, watching the Warriors win was awesome. So there was a lot going on in 2017. And all in a short span again. Warriors winning their championship, graduating high school, getting Fiesta, hitting 1,000 subscribers. Like those 4 things were big. And the reason that getting Fiesta is so important is because my cat Jewel, who's my favorite cat, she had just died like a few months earlier, or like 6 months earlier, in 2016. So, and I had her forever. So I think I had her from 2004. So pretty much as young as I can remember. So getting a new cat was big for me, just sort of mentally. 2018. Where do we start? 2018, we seen a shift in content. God damn it, dude. So 2018, we seen the shift towards Overwatch League, because Overwatch was also in 2017. So 2017 is so many games. Again, 2017 race playlist gets going. Gran Turismo comes out. Overwatch on the channel. So many things. 2018 though. God, I hate this shit, dude. 2018. Where do we go with 2018? That year was relatively another big one. Overwatch League started. First and only time that I'll ever watch esports was that year, or those 2 years. And it was definitely a time that was interesting. I was getting into talk about Overwatch League and, sort of expanding to talking about sports. I've done a little bit talking about NASCAR, but that's when I really started shifting into the high gear. And I guess this is sort of when the second era of video game content sort of starts on the channel, because I feel like it's 2015 to 2017, 2018 to 2020, and then 2020 to now. So we're going to get into why that's that. But the second era of gaming, again, is a little more, there's less gaming, but it's more focused on what I want. The titles are a little more precise. Thumbnails are a little better. And we had all that. And as I said in the video, it was called Importance of Overwatch with Casey number 1. And that video is where my interest in Korean things began. In 2017, I played D.Va, and I was like, I gotta know more about this character. I want to know more about her country, right? That's when my interest in Korean stuff really kicked off. It took a few months sort of learning more stuff. And we get into 2018, and I'm like, okay, guess it's time to go listen to some K-pop. Because before that, I heard Gangnam Style in 2012. I mean, that was when I started YouTube. That was popping off a few months later. But it was one of those things that I knew people liked it. It was, interesting, I guess. BTS was even killing it back then. That was, I don't know when they started, 2014, but BTS, was killing it back in 2017. I mean, they've even popped more since then. They're killing it. But it was kind of a meme. I mean, we had a video sort of memeing listening to K-pop before. In 2017, in one of the Race Plus episodes. But I was like, okay, we'll do it. And now I have a whole collection of K-pop items. And, we dived in sort of talking about them. So, I mean, I didn't actually ever do a video on this one. But, one of the more recent ones. But still, we dived in, got the books, got everything with it. Posters on the wall. And we were all in. So, we talked a lot about K-pop items until late 2019. And yeah, let's jump in now to 2019. 2019. Is a year that brings difficult times. 2019 was personally a difficult year. And of course, there were positives to 2019. I got into watching F1. That was super, super awesome. So we started playing F1 on the channel. Started playing Minecraft on the channel. It's kind of a meme that Wanyá and I had done. Was we're going to play Minecraft because Fortnite trash. And we did that back in February 2019. And then like a few months later, I think it was maybe April or May, the whole internet decided to do that. So it's kind of funny that we had done that. But Minecraft is big on the channel. And I had my cat named Seoul that I got, named her after the capital of South Korea. And, you know, sort of show my interest in Korean things, and I got her in 2018. And she had unfortunately died in 2019. And that was, you know, one of the... There was other difficult moments that I don't even want to talk about on videos, but that was difficult, and it still is difficult to talk about. Just because, you know, it was unexpected and she was so young. And it's always hard every time I bring it up. Man. But that little Toey, that's what I called her. I called her Toey. That was her name. She went by more than Soul, actually. But it was one of those things that I connected so much of my, you know, interesting Korean things with that name of her and her being part of that. You know, that interesting Korean things. And when she had died, it was so hard to want to do any of that. You know, I didn't listen to Korean music for a year. I didn't really start listening to K-pop until, honestly, the beginning of 2021. It was genuinely like a year. After it had been a year since she died, I listened to a little bit, but it was one of those things that it genuinely was like a significant amount of time since we didn't have K-pop content on the channel, and I didn't listen to K-pop, and anything that was Korean I really didn't focus on just because of that connection. And, you know, I was watching Korean shows on Netflix and all those things. I was all in. And when she died, it was difficult. But that was 2019. So 2020. How do you top off a year that was personally as wild as 2019? Well, you have a year like 2020. Now, we don't need to get into why 2020 is wild, but we're going to. So 2020, the main thing was the Ronas. The Ronas was wild. We were all staying home. In March of 2020, which it's been insane that this video is going out 2 years after everything went wild, we had mostly everything shut down. You had like hospitals and grocery stores stayed open. That was it. Everything else was shut. So my job, Wanyá and I got it shut down because our boss at the time was a clown who wanted to stay open. And we're serving food through a window in a small space. We're not doing that. So, you know, it shut down. We were all laid off. We all got our unemployment. We got a bunch of money each week, $600, which was way more than I'd ever made working. So that allowed me to pay for everything I had to pay for each month. Still had enough money to spend on other things. So I had owed my parents some money, gave them that, gave them a little extra. They were able to buy a computer, or I bought it for them with that money that I owed them. And in the process, I also paid for my desktop computer, which I don't use for anything besides making YouTube videos because it's kind of trash. Just because it's a Windows computer, which don't ever work. So, I got that. I got a microphone, and I got a capture card. The reason I got the computer was because I got the capture card for recording games from my PlayStation. I'm like, I'll work on my MacBook, whatever. My MacBook Air from 2015. Surprise, surprise. Couldn't handle 60 frames per second 1080p videos being put onto it. It can handle it for about 2 seconds. Then it's like, no, I'm good. So I had to get a more powerful computer. So we did. So I got the computer, I got the microphone, and I got the capture card. Got those 3 things, and we jumped in to making videos. And this is where the third era begins. Because we could produce videos that weren't streamed in low quality. We could produce Switch games that opened up the possibility of Pokemon and Mario Kart, and at the time was popping off was Animal Crossing. Those games were able to go on the channel. And we could produce just so much content that was never accessible before. Race plays were going to be better. Everything was better. And, you know, it was popping off. And it was so awesome. I had so much time to make videos. Because I was at the point where I was actually just kind of taking a break. And then, when everything shut down, I was like, okay, I'm going to produce videos. So it wasn't until September that year. And boy, was 2020 wild. Wanyá and I had some difficulties, which you can tell there was many things going on, and things hit the breaking point. And as those things are going on, you can tell through the tension in Race Plus videos. Starting one of them titled Our Worst Episode Ever, all the way up until episode 102. You can tell that tension's there. So we stopped talking, and that was difficult. Somebody that I had been friends with for my whole life. I mean, we became friends in 2004, 2003, something like that. So it had been our whole life, right? We had spent so much time talking to each other and doing stuff together forever since we were little. And just have that one day, it's done, was very, very difficult. Like, that was genuinely a very, like I said, very hard moment. So we had that. And then, some other wild things happened. We had a storm come through, like a few months later, that yeeted all the power out in the town and the whole state, basically. And then we had a tree in our driveway which took the power out the house. So we spent a week without power. That was the most wild experience. That summer. So we actually couldn't produce videos for like a week. It was one of those things that having nothing, like technology-wise, was absolutely wild. I was going to store parking lots trying to download YouTube videos and watch them. We were charging our phones in the cars and using all the data up, and Sprint or T-Mobile, whatever the hell it was at the time, was like, sorry, too damn bad. You used up all your data in a week because you didn't have the internet. Fuck you. So, fuck you to T-Mobile. I hate that company, bro. God damn. If there's a company I hate with a passion, it's Microsoft and T-Mobile. They're the top two. I absolutely hate those companies. You both can fuck off. But either way, we had that, right? That was wild. And, it was just a wild time. Going to stores each day, just trying to find items, and also trying to watch F1. I went to my grandma's house at 9 in the morning and sat in my car because she was still sleeping. But I sat in my car, used her Wi-Fi to watch F1 on my computer. Because I was like, I'm not missing the 70th anniversary. 70th anniversary Grand Prix. Because they were doing wild races in 2020. So there was that. And I think it was like the third or fourth race of the year. So I was like, absolutely not. I've waited however long to watch F1. Because it was like 6 months. It was pain. I cannot imagine. Okay, that was after me watching F1 for one season. I cannot imagine if it was just like, the season's not happening for another 6 months. Like, now, 2022 or even 2021. Like, I was into it then, but now I'm like into it. So I cannot imagine if it was. That was after watching, again, one season. Now I've watched 3. We're going on 4 here. I cannot imagine that. But either way, that was wild. And then we had Fiesta. She had to be put down. She had a issue with her mouth, a big tumor kind of thing. And really nothing you could do about that, unfortunately. So we had that. So that was difficult. And then we got new floors put in the house, which you would think that's brilliant. New floors in the house. Yeah. So the flooring that my parents had picked out, we got LifeProof with some little, it's kind of plastic, kind of clicks in. Okay, brilliant. We have it in my brother's room, which was the studio. We have it on our landing of our stairs. It's great. My dad works part-time at Home Depot, so he knows all about the stuff. It's great flooring. Issue is, they come in, rip up our carpet, and the floor is a little down. Just a little. It's not even, basically. They put a string. Floor is not even. You can't use a LifeProof because you step on it, it's going to unlock. So our whole house is disassembled. Kitchen and dining room. Everything's in the studio. Everything's in my parents' bedroom. We have a few stuff in my bedroom. It is packed. We can't do anything. Couch is downstairs. It's already gone. We're going to get rid of it. Then we find that issue. We can't get the stuff in. We can't get the floor in. So you have to wait a month for them to put in a new floor, which sounds very much like first world problems. I'm going to be honest. There's way bigger issues than dealing with a month of your flooring being up. So I'm going to acknowledge that right now. But for me, that was big. That was wild. So we finally got it in. Then my brother moved in. So it was just thing after thing after thing in 2020. So content, it was fun. We did stuff with the capture card. We played Animal Crossing on the channel. We did live streams. But it was wild. And that was also, I sort of went back into the studio, making some videos, because I got my computer, got my capture card, so I'm like, okay, we're going to do, because I let my parents take over that room. I was like, okay, I don't really need it. So I went back in, just used one little spot for a little bit. And then my brother moved in, and it was transitioning. No, actually, he moved in the last day of the flooring being put in. So basically, I had to go from that to figuring out how to make videos in my room again, but with a different layout, which honestly I didn't get figured out until 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Not, maybe a little more than that, probably about 3 months, but still, you get the point. It took a while for me to get just about where I wanted to be. So that was wild. That was 2020. So jump ahead to 2021, and I had a break from content, and I did. I took an early break. We came back, and we went in on live streams. Oh no, we went in on live streams in 2020. 2021, we just we chilled. We made some content. It wasn't anything too wild. It was very much just tame. Makes the videos. Definitely a lower video count year. Honestly, I can't tell you what I did in 2021 on this channel. I really don't. Genuinely, every year I can think of, here's what happened on the channel. 2021. what I have to genuinely look back. Because I legitimately no idea what I did in 2021. I'll get to 2020. Yeah, see, this is the thing. I scrolled in one page from August to the end of January. So, yeah, I didn't upload a video in basically November or December last year. So, it's definitely one of those things that 2021. Oh, we had Epiccw Wild June 21. That was it. We did a bunch of gaming videos in June. Bunch of content in June, but that's pretty much it. Like, if we look back, oh, I know what we did. Our big thing last year was race reviews and previews for F1 and NASCAR for about half the year. Then I wasn't feeling it. Also, I think I probably got the Rona. Not 100% confirmed, but I was pretty much out for a week. And my nose is still fucked up. So probably. But I didn't get the test because I just got a vaccine like the same, like, it started like a week before. So it's one of those things that it probably would have registered as vaccine or whatever the hell that pops up as a test. I don't know. Really don't know, dude. So that was 2021. So 2022, current year, what do we do? Well, we go to Epiccw's Countdown to 10, which we're doing right here. That was something I had planned for so long. I mean, I literally planned that out mid 2021. I was thinking about this like way ahead of time. Because basically, when I hit year 9, I was like, I want to hit year 10. That was the thing. Year 10 was something that I aimed for a long time. That's why it's so big. Because my goal from like 2018, when I was considering doing less YouTube or not even doing YouTube at all, was I want to get to 10. So what have we done in 2022? Well, early in the year, actually the first video back, was Wanyá and I jumping back into race plays, which was something we did up until about the middle of 2020. We recorded 2 videos that didn't go out because we stopped talking in that time. Before those videos went out, so I put them private. And they went out in the middle of 2021. We started talking again. But looking at January 7th, the first video that I did was our race bus called The Return 2. Then I announced the countdown to 10. And really it's a celebration of countdown to 10. First thing is rewatching, unboxing Big Bang Pegasus, which we showed over here. That we did. And Return to Gold. We looked at gold cars being featured in the race playlist. We did NASCAR 21 Ignition. That launched. So that was fun. Or not, but that launched on the channel. That game came out last year. I didn't buy it. To more recently, race playlist. Again, countdown to 10. Big thing I'm seeing here. And then February, I jumped back into more gaming videos. Overwatch returned a little bit. Race previews. We did 1 or 2. A little bit of Pokemon on the channel. Call of Duty Vanguard. Reaction to the RB18. For Red Bull's car there. And then again, a lot of this is Countdown to 10. Premiere Projects was fun. Beijing Winter Olympics thoughts. That was cool. And again, a lot of race bus. Race bus has been the main thing. More recently, 10 cars I want to see in Gran Turismo Sport. Or Gran Turismo 7, sorry. That was fun. One is Swag Art Boy now. That art right there, which again, you want to check out some of his art? It's pretty swag. Links down below. And yeah, just so much fun content. You know, So many things. We tried Sonic All-Star Racing, is that what it's called? Sonic Team Racing. We tried that. That was fun. And honestly, coming up very soon, we're playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Again, new tracks. That's going to be fun. So many cool things. Gran Turismo 7, just a few days before this. Man, what